right, welcome back to another episode of Running Through the A. This week we have Zach Williams on the defensive line for the Razorback football team. How are you, Zach?
I'm good. How are you?
We're good. We're good. So,
Good.
Appreciate you coming on.
Oh, of course, of course.
so you're from Little Rock, right?
Yep,
Went
that's
to
correct.
Robinson, right?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, I went to PA, so we're right by each other.
Oh, okay.
Uh, when did you get into football?
I got into football when I was like 6. The basic flag football from my father. Little league. That's basically how I got into it. So he just put me in. I've just been there ever since.
Were you always like bigger or like more skilled than everybody growing up?
Yeah, I was definitely bigger and one of those kids you could really put anywhere, like
Yeah.
where needed. So I was always kind of like that.
Yeah,
Nice.
did you play any other sports growing up?
I did. I ran track and I tried basketball, but I wasn't really, that good because I wasn't really into it. So I just mainly just did track and football.
Yeah.
Football is your main thing.
Yes, sir, it was.
So your dad played football at Arkansas too, right?
He did from 84 to 87.
So how is it like having your dad kind of, does he like mentor you kind of and you go for him for any, advice?
Yeah, he does. Even, through all the different positions I went through, he always gave his 2 cents to help me out. So that was always a nice thing.
Yeah.
When did you like start to kind of feel like, all right, I can do some with this. I can go to college. When did that kind of cross your mind, I guess, or become a reality?
I think maybe I'll say in middle school because that's when you start to see like people start changing, they start growing up, developing, and I was like, I'm still kind of good. So I was
Yeah,
like, maybe I can still, maybe I
I
can
got
go.
this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when did that recruiting process start?
Um, it started at first when I went to high school. I was at somewhere called Little Rock Central, and it was kind of older, worn down, so I wasn't really getting much exposure. So that's why I moved to Josie Robinson, and then as soon as I moved to Josie Robinson, my coming into my 11th grade year, then I started getting recognition.
How old were you when you left Central?
I was 17.
17. Okay, so you were kind of older and you knew that you had to do that to make the next move. That
Yeah.
makes sense. Your senior year, you're invited to the Pro Football Hall of Fame All-Star Game. How was that? That had to have been cool.
Yeah, that was very cool, amazing. Like, it's just surprising, shell shocking, all the good things. It was real cool.
Yeah. So when did Arkansas come into the picture recruiting wise?
Um, I think I'm not positive, but I think winter of my 11th grade year. I think it most definitely was winter because I remember it was cold when we went up there. I don't think it wasn't my senior year, of course, so it had to be my 11th grade year.
Did
Yeah.
you grow up going to Arkansas games?
Oh, I did. I went to a few, when I was like real little, and maybe like a couple years passed, and I go to some more stuff like that. So yeah, I did.
You had some big offers like Alabama, Florida, Georgia, a bunch of SEC schools. Did they start coming in after Arkansas or before Arkansas? And then what made you just narrow it down to come to Arkansas? Because it was a rough time when you were getting recruited.
Yeah, I think I'm not positive, but I think it was Arkansas first because I remember, of course, like when you start your smaller schools, and then I remember Arkansas was kind of like I think my biggest school at that time, and I think the rest of them started flowing in.
So you committed in 2019, not knowing that you would have to go through a whole coaching change. How was that?
It was different, from the first time I stepped foot into the football facilities until now, like there's major changes. Like it's a complete 180. It's been, I wouldn't say it's been difficult. It's just been kind of, a learning experience because I just thought, even though Arkansas wasn't really winning when I signed, I just thought there'd be more stability, but there wasn't. And there's nothing bad about that. It's a learning experience. So, it wasn't really that hard.
That's a good way
Yes.
to put it.
What was like this is it moment for you when choosing a school? Like what made you choose Arkansas over all these other schools?
Really, I feel because I just felt at home because I've been up to Fayetteville so many times when I was younger, and it was like a very hard decision deciding. But when I just sat back and just looked at it, I'm like, this is a real easy decision. I'm just thinking too much. So I think that was the main thing that pushed me into signing with Arkansas.
And like as an Arkansas kid, it's got to be like a dream come true.
Yeah, it was. It was again.
So you played in most games since the freshman. I guess my biggest question was how was playing in Dallas? What's your favorite game that you remember, I guess?
I would say I kind of have two favorites. One favorite is just, the sheer spirit of everything where I was at. And I think those are always the Texas A&M Arlington games, because we're major rivals and stuff like that. So, there's a major energy in there. But I think just being at one place, I think the most unique that I really enjoyed was being at Florida when we played against the Florida Gators.
Yeah, especially with Felipe's return there. That had to add something.
It was. I liked that game.
Swamp is cool. I've never been. I've always wanted to.
Okay.
Yeah, me too.
So is playing in Jerry's World just like completely different? Is it like, because I know you've got to like look up and just see like, wow, we're in like a crazy NFL stadium. What is that like?
It was most definitely the first time. Well, I did go in, I think, one time for some type of little league thing. So it wasn't my first time when I first went to college when I first went there. But when you're actually on the field and you're playing, you're like, I'm in college football, and you just see that big old jumbo screen up there, and like, everything that's going on around you. It's just a different type of feeling. You just feel the excitement from the air, and it just comes into you and it gives you more energy.
Yeah.
This might be a dumb question, but does the home team get to use the Cowboys' actual locker room, or do they have separate locker rooms?
I think we actually do, because it was really, really nice. I think we did, because I remember last year we were the home team, this year we're the visitors. And
I'm not sure the visitors is nice too, but
yeah, but the home team side that is really nice. The visitors, of course, is nice too, but
yeah.
So what's it been like watching like the whole environment in Fayetteville change over the last 3-4 years?
The one word I can say is just magical.
That's a good word.
Yeah, of course, we always have diehard Razorback fans. No matter what the season comes to, they're still going to support us and stuff like that. But ever since the program started turning around and becoming like more of a winning program, you just feel that type of energy. You just see more people. It's magical. That's all I can say.
So when you got to Fayetteville in 2019, I guess, what was your biggest surprise, first of all, when you got on campus? I guess you've been to campus, but as a student, what was your biggest surprise?
Really, I knew college football was going to be hard, of course, but like when you come in at spring, you being your senior year of high school, it's just a major change. Like, I kind of thought it was military school at first, but I think, after some time, you just get used to the structure and stuff like that. So I think that was probably the most surprising, because, I had expectations of how it would be, but of course you never really know until you're actually doing it and going through the workouts and stuff like that.
So did you leave Robinson early and get on campus in the spring, or did you come in the summer?
Yeah, I did. I got to campus in January.
Okay.
In January. Mm-hmm. So you had to adjust to, I guess, college lifestyle and the college way of coaching. And then the next year you had to readjust to a whole new theme of coaching. I guess, what was the toughest part or the biggest change about the new staff coming in? Like the toughest mentally part, what was the toughest part?
I mean, I guess the toughest part really was just, getting to know the whole staff all over again, because you feel like you made a connection with everybody that was there, and then all of a sudden they leave, and you're like, oh my gosh, I don't know anybody here. But it was really easy, But I think the toughest part was expecting so many bad things, not even like just different changes to happen, but really there weren't that many changes.
There weren't. was pretty easy transition overall, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So something we've been meaning to ask, and we keep forgetting to ask everyone.
Yeah.
What exactly, we saw you're a part of it. What exactly is the One Arkansas NIL thing?
Or when,
Like,
yeah.
can you explain it a little bit? Because we don't really know.
Okay, so basically, I think I have an idea of it because nobody really kind of explained it to me. But I think from what I see, is like a bunch of like all the Razorback fans that want to support the athletes here, and the One Arkansas NIL is a way of bringing all the athletes together on one page or one program, to let people see what's going on and for the athletes to go out to the public and give back and stuff like that. That's kind of what I get from the One NIL. It's still kind of new, I guess. So I guess I haven't really told many people exactly about it, but that's kind of what I'm getting from it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds cool. I guess my idea of it, and I don't know if this is right, but it's a way for players to join this, get involved with their community, and it's a way for, I guess, companies to see what they're doing and decide to go, I want that player or XXX. And that was my idea. I'm still confused, but that's kind of what I got, the vibe I got from it.
Yeah, it's pretty spot on.
And then the Fayetteville NIL club is different. That's like player driven, isn't it? Like, you guys have different opportunities to connect with fans and stuff like that.
Yeah, we do. On that one, we do. So you're right about that one. Yeah.
All right.
Do you have any other NILs that you're working with or working for?
I had one. It was Bear State. Of course, you have to post something on social media and you get a little cash from it. I think I posted two things on my page. One was Bear State, and I think it moved on to Bear State because it started talking about Razorbacks and stuff. I didn't really know a lot about it because my dad really covers that stuff, but I think it was the same thing.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's get back to football. So how much weight have you gained since freshman? I read somewhere it was 30 pounds. Is that right?
When I first got to campus, I was 204, and I'm around 260 now. The heaviest I've ever been was 266. So if
way
you
more than 30 pounds.
Yeah, if you think about it, it's kind of like, 60, like some like over 50 some pounds.
And that was obviously on purpose, right?
Mm-hmm, yes. It was a pretty hard struggle because I'm not the type of person that likes eating if I'm not hungry, but that's something you have to do. And I feel like I did a pretty good job at it.
Yeah, what is it like? I mean, your body's changing like a ton putting on that much weight. What is that? How do you even do that?
Really, I didn't even feel it. Like, I felt stronger, but I didn't just feel all that weight just building up on me. So I guess that was a good thing. But mainly, I think the main thing that helped me was drinking like high calorie shakes before bed and just eating even though I'm not hungry. So I wouldn't say it was an easy process, but it was, a lot easier than I thought.
Mm-hmm. And that's obviously helped your play. Like, right, so far this year, you have more sacks than you've had in the past 3-4 years. So putting on that weight's obviously doing something.
It's working.
Oh yeah.
So it's Alabama week. Is this week any different? Probably not, but worth asking. Is this week any different than, let's say, I don't know, Texas A&M? Although that's a tough one too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I wouldn't say not really. There, of course, there's a lot more hype when it comes to Alabama. So a lot of people make, I guess, a little bit bigger of a deal about it. But practice-wise, we haven't really done anything, out of the ordinary just because we're going against Alabama. So it's been pretty much the same.
Same thing.
Mm-hmm.
The game's sold out. I feel like the crowd's gonna be crazier than Texas last year. And that was a crazy crowd. That was the craziest crowd I've ever been a part of. But like, what's it like going into the stadium with sold out crowd, like crazy environment? Is it just like insane hype?
It is. I would say the first time that I ever actually I wouldn't even be able to hear myself even talk or yell on the field. That was the Texas game. So, I think it's going to be a lot like that. But it's just, like I said, the energy, like when you hear thousands and thousands of people yelling and you feel it throughout your body, there's just nothing like it really.
So you can tell. Where were you when the fans, I guess, warmed the field? Where were you? Were you in the middle of everything?
Oh no, I was trying to get out, but I still ended up kind of being surrounded because, once they swarmed on the field, you literally couldn't go anywhere. Like we're packed like sardines on the whole 100-yard field.
There were players everywhere. I remember, like there would be a bunch, like a group of players over here, a group of players over here, one like around somewhere. It was
Yeah, I
crazy.
just felt bad for Texas because they lost and they got to be in the middle of that. So
They got to run out of there.
Yeah, that's got to be tough for sure.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So is there anyone that you're recruiting right now out of high school, or someone that we should keep an eye on that you know of, or anything like that?
It's sad to say, but I haven't, necessarily
That's
talked to anybody from high school because I know I used to, because I still had a connection with those people, but now I don't really have a connection because they're so much more younger than me.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't really know, but I know from my coaches, I still talk to them a few times that there's a few good players coming out of there.
Yeah.
Out of Little Rock.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Little Rock has some athletes, that's for sure.
Yes,
all right. How's it playing for Pittman? It's got to be funny.
It is. He is a character that I never really met. He's a good dude. He has like the personality, I guess, of a high school head coach because you could always crack jokes and stuff like that. But of course, he always has a serious side too. It's different. I love him. I've had another head coach before, and he was a good man too. But it's just nothing like Pittman.
Do you guys talk very frequently, and guys are pretty close with head coach?
He comes up to people, every day, every practice, just asking us, even in the middle of practice sometimes when we're on the special teams and we're not in yet, sometimes like when it's chill, he'll be like, how's your day going? Stuff like that. It's not always about football with him. He's somebody you can talk to about anything, especially when you're having meetings with him.
He kind of reminds me of somebody that can crack jokes and can chill and talk nonsense with him. But then you can tell when he's serious, and when he's serious, you listen. Like he demands your attention. That's the vibe I get from him.
Mm-hmm. He is. That is how he is. He has that switch. He can be both a coach and someone for you to talk to. So that's what I really like about him.
Yeah, he seems like a cool coach. But I appreciate it, Zach.
Of course, anytime.
All right, cool. You have a good one.